We're broadcasting live from the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, and we're really grateful to be hosted here by the Wasatch Brew Pub up at the top of Main Street here in Park City. And Greg Scherf is, of course, the founder, the owner, the guy who really started the brew pub business in
89.
In '89 here in Utah, and Greg made the Catalyst list 100.
Sure,
the most influential Catalyst, and we're not on this list.
Well, I was explaining the reason. If you got to bring the beer to the party, then you get on the list.
I see. So you agreed to make.
It's very transparent. Get Greg on there because we're going to need some beer eventually.
And we have our own beer, but we have to buy it.
Yeah.
We just can't go and pick it up.
Yeah. We have our own beer in great part because of talking to Greg here, saying, "Hey, that sounds like kind of a good idea." And we went from there, and we got Radio from Hell, Red as Hell Ale, and it's doing well.
It's been a great success. People like it. I think the beer that we came up with, the red style ale, it was a void in the
people
Utah
love it.
beer market. So
who said it goes good with meat? Someone here. You said that's what you have it with is meat.
Meat.
One thing though, I have to say, Greg, since we got here, I was trying to drink these for a long time until I realized they were salt and pepper shakers. It's terrible. But now we're lucky to be here in the brew pub. You almost burned down.
We did. We had an incident the week of Thanksgiving in November, and there's been some speculation, but we're pretty sure that caused the fire. The guys were in here doing the hardwood floors, and when they do that, they have some pretty toxic rags and some stuff they use.
Oh, that's right.
We're pretty sure, although the fire experts and marshals are debating it, but we think the rags self-combusted on the deck.
Self-combusted?
Yeah, because of all the... and that's pretty common, and you kind of hope that a guy that does it for a living would be a little bit more cautious with his rags.
Yeah.
But I got a call at 6 o'clock in the morning from the Park City Police Department saying, hey, Greg, you may want to get up to Main Street. Your brew pub is on fire, and there are flames leaping out of the deck area in the back.
Oh.
But we have a great fire department here in town, and they responded, and the fire got put out pretty quickly. We did have quite a bit of water and smoke damage.
Yeah.
So we scrambled Joe Lambert, my partner on the restaurant side, and his assistant, who doubles as our marketing director, Amy Cody, came in and got the contractors going, and we were open in 2 weeks.
Really?
And now we're just finishing up, getting the artwork back up, getting the touches as we gear up for Sundance. But it was pretty remarkable. But for those that were wondering, we are still standing. We weren't literally toast. We just had a little setback, but we're open for business. And the good news: not 1 ounce of beer was lost to the fire.
Thank God. They didn't have to use any of the beer to put the fire out.
We were ready. We could have though.
Now you've been here. You were telling us since the very first Sundance Film Festival in Park City.
Yes.
You've seen it all. Now, was the brew pub here when
No. Yeah, we didn't open until 1989, and the Sundance folks rolled into town in the mid 80s, 84, 85. And when they brought it up from Salt Lake, and it was still very, very low-keyed and very much different than it is today. You could get tickets whenever you wanted. You'd walk around. You could actually find parking places.
Yeah.
It was just a whole different atmosphere. It was getting started, and it was really so focused on the independent filmmaker that the big money guys hadn't shown up yet. So it was really fun. I can remember going to a premiere one year when Out of Africa was the premiere that year. And
that was Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Sidney Pollack was the director.
Right.
Meryl Streep. Just a fantastic. And we just walked in the Egyptian for the premiere and got a ticket, sat down and hung out, and Redford got up and talked about it a little bit. Cindy Pollack was there. And then we went to a reception down at the old Elks Lodge. And we just walked in with a bunch of locals and sat around and drank with all the movie stars. And it was really that combination of locals and Hollywood. And, it hadn't really been worked to death yet. It was so new. It was just fresh and fun.
Now, do you get a chance, how much do you hang around the film festival these days?
Less and less.
Less and less. Just because it's a rigmarole. It's a
getting the tickets and queuing up, and it's just nuts. I'm going to a couple movies, but not like the old days when we really got pumped up about it, and it was really a lot for the locals. It seemed like the locals were part of the act, and just some great memories though. But And
Did you meet a lot of stars over the years?
We did. I can think of the time when Dustin Hoffman was sitting at this bar stool over here. And
Right here?
just hanging out, and nobody bothered him. He just sat there, and I think it's when he was still drinking, and had a couple beers in the evening. But we'd have stars come in, and they were left alone pretty much. And we never had the wall of pictures or did any of that. We just would say, "Come on in." And Kevin Costner used to come in.
Kevin Costner. Yeah. Do the stars still come in?
Yeah, but I don't know who they are anymore. They come in, and the servers and the bartenders say, "So and so was in last night." And I was like, "Yeah, who is that again?"
He was that one guy in that one movie.
They got to be big for me, because I'm kind of a old fart now that I don't keep up with all the latest underground movies. So, but Redford is such a class act, though. He was so good to Park City, and I think of him. Sometimes you forget that he's this great filmmaker and did this wonderful Sundance Film Festival that is so good for young filmmakers and so good for the industry. I still think of him as an environmentalist.
Yeah.
As a Utah native.
He's a damn hippie.
He's a damn hippie.
He's a damn hippie.
He is, and I could tell you a quick fun story if we have time.
Sure.
So we go to the premiere of Out of Africa, and I'm dating. I'm not married yet. I'm in my early 30s, and I've got this gal I'm pretty hot on, and so I get her to go to the premiere with me, and then afterwards to the after party. And her name is Debbie I.A., or was Debbie I.A., it's now Debbie Scherf. But at the time, I was just, out in the town, and I took her to the after party, and Bob Redford was there with Sidney Pollack. I can't remember if Meryl Streep was in the room at the time, but I was trying to impress my new date. I think it was our second date out. And I saw Redford across the room, and I waved at him and said, "Hey, Bob," and gave him the big wave down. And of course, he didn't know who the hell I was. But and I waved him over, and we met him halfway. And I said, Bob, you got to meet my date tonight. This is Debbie I.A." And he was so generous and so kind. He just said, "Debbie, good to see you. So good that you could make. Did you like the movie? Hanging out with this guy. That's cool." And just played the role like he had the script sent to him.
The big handshake and everything.
Yeah, so I think he was hoping I'd get laid that night, and he was trying to help me out. It took me a little longer than that, but Redford did his part.
Yeah. and you are married to that woman today.
And he didn't come up to you later and go, "You owe me. You owe me huge."
No, he said, "You owe me some beers."
And this is still, the Sundance Film Festival has gotten so big and kind of harder to deal with. But it's you got to also think of Robert Redford as bringing an awful lot of money to Park City and,
numbers.
And to Utah in general.
You can't even, I don't know if you can put a price tag on it, but I've heard anything from 70 to 80 million, and you compound that over the last 25 years. And but he's so much more. He's our conscience in a lot of ways, and he's so good for Utah. And to have someone that iconic that lives in Utah and cares about Utah and loves Utah and everything else that we got going on in the state, it's really nice to have him.
Well, and he is directly responsible for the festival, and the festival is directly responsible, I read yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, for the property values up here staying so incredibly solid.
You could make that case. I don't know exactly how you would track that, but
you have to read the article. It makes sense.
But the amount of money, the number is 70 million is what you can pretty well document.
Their comparison was to like Aspen and some other ski resort places where the property values are kind of going up and down. They've maintained really solid here in Park City, and a lot of people are investing up here in property.
I believe that, and things are back. Park City's doing well.
Let's talk quickly about beer, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Scherf, the founder of Wasatch Beers, and are you like the president of the Utah Brewers Cooperative, or the president? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, they used to call me the managing partner, but I got promoted.
Is that so because they wanted you to stay out of the office?
We didn't want to give him a raise. We wanted to make him feel good.
Like, he's winding down now. Yep. Next thing I'll know, I'll be the chairman of the board.
Yeah, the emeritus. But tell us about this new beer. I've had some of this, the Ghost Rider. It's really good.
It's in that IPA family, which beer drinkers know is one of the hottest categories going off in the beer world these days. And we make an IPA under our Squatters label, and we make a big, what we call an extreme IPA, Hop Rising, under our Squatters label. And those beers are hugely successful and very popular and part of the IPA family. But we wanted to make a different kind of IPA that wasn't currently being offered. And our guys came up, Adam Curfew in particular, who did a bunch of test brewing and came up with what we're calling a white IPA. And it's unfiltered. It's not as big with hops and with alcohol. It's only 6.5. It has some coriander in there. And it's not the big bomb that the direction of the beer brewers that we're moving towards, where it was going to, I call it an endurance contest. You know, how much alcohol and how much hops could you take at a single seating. Now we've backed off of that a little bit with this beer, which has a really citrusy, almost like I call it a citrus facial. When you open it and pour it in a glass, you can just put your nose in it and you get this grapefruity effervescence that's just really delightful. And I think that's why you felt that being cold really made it.
I liked it when I got it ice cold.
Yeah.
I think when I took it home and I left it outside in the snow for a while because my fridge was full, and I got it and I went and got it and it was almost frozen even, and I opened it up and drank one and oh my gosh, it was good.
There we go. Nice.
Did I tell you I have an app for that?
Oh,
What?
his
This is Greg's iPhone, and it's a case that's got it's a beer opener on the back of the
Handy to
case.
have.
I like that. That's
for breakfast around here.
It's a breakfast beer. Amy Cody gave us a sign.
There you
Beer
go.
is for all day, not just for
No,
breakfast.
it's not just a breakfast.
Not just
food.
for breakfast anymore.
No, that's terrific. And we think the Ghost Rider name is kind of fun, kind of that Western theme. But it's just been out. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's available at the beer store down at Salt Lake at our brewery. And next week it'll hit the state stores.
Okay, I wondered because I went and looked for some at the
Not
liquor
yet.
store and they didn't have it.
They're moving slower these days because of some of the issues they've been through. So they don't really move quite as rapidly as the old days. But they will have it on the shelf next week at a half a dozen stores, and then also at the pubs and at the beer store down on 17th South and
Third West.
Third West. And we think, you never know about a beer whether if it's going to be a red as hell type success story or whether it'll be another beer. But we think that consumer that loves IPAs is going to say, okay, still an IPA, but a little different.
Yeah, I thought it was great because I'm not.
Yeah.
The IPAs get too bitter for me. I'm not a.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
And this is for you then.
Serve this ice cold. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
All right.
Thanks for having us here at the Brew Pub.
Thank you guys for
Yes.
coming to Park City. Welcome to Park City.
Thank you.
Welcome to Sundance. You guys going to, do you take on any of the parties or any of the films?
Well, we're usually up so early.
Yeah.
We usually go home and observe the parties from afar.
Say hi to Gina for me. I'm kind of bummed she's not here.
She's not
You guys
well.
look-
She hurt herself. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she fell and hit her head ice skating, and she's having some issues. But we
You don't want to mess around with the noggin.
Yeah, bad. She's having some concussion, and
She says she'll be back on Monday. We'll see.
She may be here Monday.
That's understandable that she's
All right.
not here. But say hi for me.
We will.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very
Always good to
much.
be with you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
Thank you.
It's more from the Sundance Film Festival coming up here in just a moment. We are at the Wasatch Brew.